shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It starts today. The big warm-up begins as we head into the holiday weekend. I'll show you how close we'll get to 90 degrees.
And hitting that holiday road, good news for people traveling this Easter weekend, the drop in gas prices we have seen over the last week.
Hundreds of meals, a mission to feed those who would otherwise go without. The distribution happening today in Raleigh. Hello, everyone. It is 4:30 on your Friday as we get you started on this Easter weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Great to have you along here. It's Good Friday. It's going to be great weather-wise for certain. Elizabeth Gardner out there in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. And Elizabeth, this is where the heat changes for us this weekend, huh?
Today's the day that our wind shifts to southerly and really starts to bring the warmth in. So this is a look at our Garner Tower. So we're looking across southern Wake County there. 55 degrees is our temperatures. It's a little warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday we had a few spots down near freezing, but our wind is coming out of the southeast. Eventually it shifts to southerly and then southwesterly into the day today, which really warms things up. It's a cool 43 in Roxborough, 46 in South Hill, mid-50s in the Triangle, but a smattering of other 40s around the region. So it's a pleasantly cool start for us this morning. Our temperatures in some places are running 6 or 7 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. But we'll likely see those temperatures creating a bigger spread later in the day. 74 at lunchtime. We'll see highs in the low 80s today, but it looks even hotter than it did yesterday for the Easter weekend. I'll show you coming up.
That is warm. Elizabeth, thanks. If you're traveling for the holiday weekend, you're in luck if you need to fill up on gas. We are seeing a downward trend in prices. WRAL's Sean Gallagher joins us live from Cary. And Sean, gas prices have been falling a bit since the spring break travel rush died down.
Yeah, Renee, from one travel season to another, gas stations like this, quiet right now, too early in the morning, but going to be busy over the next few days. See, Easter weekend, kind of a mini summer travel beginner of sorts. And for those who will be at pumps like this, the prices, they couldn't be better. According to Gas Buddy, the average cost of gas in our area is $2.91 a gallon. A mix of reasons keeping gas below $3 a gallon here, including trade war talks actually pushing global oil prices down. As a result, gas is 54 cents cheaper right now than it was this time last year. And the most expensive gas may already be behind us. Gas Buddy tells me April 10th is usually the day where gas is the most expensive during the season.
You have an intersection of rising demand as Americans start traveling and spring break occurs. Also, because the switchover from winter to summer gasoline happens in March, and that basically wraps up by mid-April. And that's also the peak of refinery maintenance season. Now, as we progress towards May, refineries are finishing up maintenance and they're able to boost supply. And that intersection of those three things is usually what leads prices to peak in April before typically starting to cool off for the summer driving season.
And AAA is urging drivers to exercise caution on the roads this weekend, expecting an increase in the number of impaired drivers. And if you're somebody who happens to partake, you should find a ride. In Cary, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
AAA released new gas price numbers around 3 a.m. The statewide average price for a gallon, $2.85. That's down 8 cents in the last week. In Raleigh, the average is $2.90 a gallon. The national average is $3.16. That's down about 5 cents over a week.
Students at Florida State University are uniting in the midst of tragedy. This memorial is growing on campus after a shooting killed 2 people and injured 6 others. Investigators say the suspected shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. He's in the hospital this morning. He's the son of a sheriff's deputy in that county. The sheriff's office says one of the deputy's handgun, was used in that shooting. They say the 2 men who died were not students. The 6 people injured are all expected to recover.
New this morning, Zebulon's town manager stepped down after less than 4 months on the job. Gilbert Todd Jr. made that announcement last night during a Board of Commissioners work session. In a prepared statement, he says he made the decision because of what he calls a serious personnel matter. He says he was put in a position where he was expected to take action he believes is unethical and inappropriate. No further details of his claim were given.
Today, for the first time, the Raleigh Rescue Mission will deliver Easter meals to families in need. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Raleigh, and they plan to hand out more than 1,000 meals this morning. Kelsey.
Yes, Jeff, we often think about meal giveaways and food insecurity during the holidays, but families in need food year round. So that's why the Raleigh Rescue Mission is delivering more than 1,000 meals at this church this morning on Clifton Street. So today is the first time they're delivering meals for Easter. You're watching video of one of their Christmas meal deliveries a few years ago. Nearly 90,000 people in Wake County live in poverty, according to government data. More than 1,600 meals will be delivered today across the area. We spoke with Carla Tuttle from the Rescue Mission. She says they're adding this extra delivery day because more families need help.
In 2022, when I joined the team, we were delivering at Thanksgiving and Christmas about 1,400 meals. In this past holiday season, the need has increased to well over 1,600.
Tuttle says they're preparing to serve even more people as inflation is expected to increase in the next few months. So they're building a new facility in Knightdale that could more than quadruple their outreach. That's set to open next fall. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And in Durham, they've done this a bunch. Volunteers with the Durham Rescue Mission are busy this morning getting ready for the annual Easter Community Dinner. Starting at noon, they'll serve food, have a grocery and clothing giveaway, and give Easter baskets to kids. The event is held at Mission Men's Campus on East Main Street.
We've learned most of the people arrested during a protest on North Carolina Central's campus are affiliated with the school. Officials with the university say 4 out of the 5 arrested Wednesday have ties to the school. The arrest warrants don't make clear whether they are students, staff, or visitors to campus. The university says the event was organized by a group not affiliated with the school. The group was rallying for more on-campus housing and better living conditions.
This morning, the death toll is rising from U.S. airstrikes on an oil port in Yemen. Houthi officials say at least 38 people were killed, over 100 more were wounded. The U.S. has been trying to disrupt Houthi weapons smuggling and revenue streams for months now with these strikes. Houthi rebels have repeatedly attacked commercial ships in the Red Sea.
A Raleigh nightclub where several cars were hit by gunfire over the weekend has lost its liquor license. Alcohol law enforcement suspended Star Bar's liquor license. Police say more than 20 shots were fired in the bar's parking lot early Sunday morning. They say the intended target of the shooting was a rapper performing at the venue. The bar on Trawick Road has a history of violent incidents. Police say they've been called to that nightclub 93 times over the last year.
Severe storms hit parts of Nebraska, bringing tornadoes with it. This video was taken near Omaha. The National Weather Service says at least 11 tornadoes touched down between Iowa and Nebraska yesterday. The storms brought down trees and power lines. No injuries were reported.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen confirmed he met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That's the man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Van Hollen posted a photo on X last night of their meeting. He says he called Abrego Garcia's wife to send along a message of love from her husband, and he will provide a full update on their meeting when he returns to the U.S. Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador on Wednesday to push for his release. He tried to meet with Abrego Garcia earlier this week, but was denied.
It'll be quiet on Wall Street. The stock market is closed for Good Friday. This comes as more allies visit Washington to try to work out a deal for tariff relief with President Trump. President Trump visited with the Prime Minister of Italy yesterday. Tariffs took center stage. That meeting follows a negotiating session with another U.S. ally, Japan. So far, the markets haven't been impressed with the tariffs. They dropped again Wednesday after a warning from the Federal Reserve Chair.
Durham's former interim police chief is taking issue with the current police chief. Sherry Montgomery filed a lawsuit against Chief Patrice Andrews. She claims Andrews mistreated her before she was fired earlier this month. This stems from feedback during the hiring process for the new chief. Andrews was the candidate, and the city manager asked Montgomery for feedback. She claims that feedback got back to Andrews, which ultimately led to her firing last Friday.
The reality is that from the very beginning of Patrice Andrews' tenure, Sherry Montgomery saw responsibilities taken from her that are normally responsibilities of the deputy chief in Durham or one of the deputy chiefs in Durham. She saw one major command taken from her, and she was routinely kept out of key decision-making meetings, and this went on over a period of time.
A spokesperson with the city of Durham says the city has not received a notice from the EEOC regarding Ms. Montgomery's charges and allegations against the police department, so we cannot comment at this time.
Carolina Hurricanes will host Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs Sunday. The Canes wrapped up regular season last night with a loss in Ottawa. Game meant nothing as far as the team's playoff position. They have locked in home ice advantage for the first round against the New Jersey Devils. Game 1 is Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock at Lenovo Center. Puck drop for Game 2 will be Tuesday, 6 p.m., also at the Lenovo Center. Ticketmaster is showing tickets for both games starting at $70. Games 3 and 4 will be next Friday and Sunday in New Jersey.
Scary Southwest takeoff. More than 100 people evacuate a plane after an emergency landing. The reason, the pilot had to turn around abruptly.
Hundreds of acres burned. The Bee Rock Creek fire is not slowing down in western North Carolina. The containment line that firefighters are trying to hold now.
And a big warm-up is on the way. This is a live look at Lewisburg. Good morning to folks there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has a look at the gorgeous holiday weekend ahead.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
444. It's a comfortable start out there this morning. 47 in Wilson, 55 in Durham, and 50 degrees in Fayetteville. Running a little bit warmer than it was this time yesterday. Today we begin the big warm up. Our wind shifts to southerly, and that's really going to start to bump up our temperatures. We'll climb on up into the low 80s for today, and then it's just going to be a hot weekend, really, for Easter. Nice and clear, so we do have the top of the tower lit in blue right here behind us. 43 in Roxborough right now, but otherwise we're looking at a lot of 50s on the map. 50 in Holly Springs and Fayetteville, 52 in Garner, 51 in Cary, but 47 in Rocky Mount and Wilson. Out walking the dog this morning, it feels nice out there. Maybe just a light jacket and a warm afternoon, comfortable, low humidity. I'll show you why temperatures will be much warmer for Saturday and Sunday coming up.
Investigators in Minnesota say this surveillance video led to an arrest in a string of Tesla vandalism incidents. Between the cameras on the Teslas and the surveillance cameras in that area, Minneapolis police say it wasn't difficult to make an arrest. 6 Tesla vehicles were targeted, resulting in $20,000 in damages.
Investigators in Belize are trying to figure out why an American citizen hijacked a small plane. They say he stabbed 2 passengers and the pilot before one of the passengers shot and killed him. Police say Ankiela Taylor hijacked the plane with 14 passengers and 2 crew members on board. The plane circled in the air for nearly 2 hours as the hijacking was happening. Police say Taylor had been denied access to Belize over the weekend. Authorities have reached out to the U.S. Embassy in Belize for help investigating.
A Southwest Airlines flight made an emergency landing at Houston's Hobby Airport after one of the plane's engines caught on fire. It happened yesterday after the plane left the airport headed to Mexico. It was forced to turn around because of an engine fire. The plane landed safely. Firefighters put out the fire, including a small grass fire right near the runway.
The Menendez brothers will have to wait another month until their long-awaited resentencing. The 2-day hearing was expected to begin yesterday. Instead, the judge delayed the hearing until May 9th. The 2 brothers are currently serving life in prison without possibility of parole for the murders of their parents. Now, if the judge grants them a revised sentence, a parole board will review their case and could recommend them for release.
Crews fighting the Bee Rock Creek fire in western North Carolina say it is now 10% contained. That fire has burned more than 500 acres in McDowell County. 180 firefighters, 3 helicopter crews are all working to put it out. Crews are using the Blue Ridge Parkway as a containment line for that fire.
Starting today, you may hear the sounds of gunfire and see people in Army uniforms. It's all part of a Special Forces training called Robin Sage. The real-world exercise is the final stage of training at the U.S. Army JFK Special Warfare Center and School. The 2-week exercise takes place in several counties, including Wake, Chatham, and Cumberland, and it lasts through May 1st.
Such a big day in the history of our WRAL Azalea Gardens. You're looking live right now this morning. Beautiful out there already. Today, a whole new section of it, though, opens up. It has more flowers, more walking trails, a beautiful bridge. We're hosting a ribbon cutting ceremony this afternoon. And be sure to tune in to WRAL at 12:30 for an update on that. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I drive by it all the time when I leave for work, and I was like, look at that beautiful bridge. Such an exciting day in Elizabeth. There will be beautiful weather for it, too. Such a warm-up.
It's really going to be perfect. You know, I imagine that we're going to see that bridge featured in a lot of photos. It looks very photogenic. Can you imagine standing on the bridge? I tell you what, we were here last weekend for prom photos, and I could just imagine the line for photos at the bridge. But it really is gorgeous, and that sort of fills out just the rest of the property there, and it's going to be such a nice addition. We take a look from our Garner camera, looking off across Wake County. 55 degrees is our temperature, and it's just going to be a nice, comfortable day for us today. Still some 40s showing up, 47 in Southern Pines, 47 Goldsboro and Rocky Mount, 46 in South Hill. We're sitting in the mid-50s right now across the triangle, and we'll go in a little closer. 52 in Garner, 51 in Cary, 52 in Apex. So mostly in the low 50s, but some upper 40s. 83 for the high in Durham and Raleigh and Fayetteville this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. The wind will pick up a little bit. Our wind is coming out of the south today, and that's what starts to bring in some of the warm temperatures that will be here all the way through the holiday weekend. Here's a look at those beautiful gardens that are expanding behind us. Allison Breedlove sent us this gorgeous photo. It's still beautiful. Come visit. Today will be a nice day to visit, or over the weekend as well. Some Easter pictures out there in the azalea gardens would be nice. Send us a few of those. Go to WRAL.com/report it. Here's a look at the big picture. Our next weather maker is this high pressure system that's sitting just offshore today. It rotates clockwise, and so that begins the flow of the warmth from the south, and that will continue. Notice the slight blue shaded area. Temperatures yesterday were very close to normal, but the warmth really starts to push in for it today and tomorrow, and it really lasts into next week. Our weekend warm up, of course, 89 on Saturday, 88 on Sunday, and our normal high is 73. But the warm temperatures continue. Our Easter holiday weekend, that 89 on Saturday isn't quite a record, but it's close. The record high for Saturday is 93. On Sunday in the morning, I know a lot of folks are up early for Easter sunrise services. Our temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s. Our above average temperatures may continue all the way through the end of the month, possibly up until May 1st and beyond. So hopefully you like the warm temperatures. We're in the 80s all the way through the middle of next week. Next week, though, we turn wetter again. We'll talk more about our next weather makers coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Innocence lost. A state commission that works to free people who are wrongly convicted is eliminated. Why the agency's director says the replacement that's proposed doesn't fit the need.
Park progress. The new play area at Dix Park is coming into shape. A sneak peek at the fun you can expect once it opens to the public. A North Carolina agency announced it had secured the release of a man wrongfully convicted for murder. On the same day, the state Senate voted to eliminate that agency and its funding. That announcement and vote came as part of the Senate's $30 billion budget proposal. The North Carolina Innocence Inquiry Commission is tasked with investigating potential claims of innocence. Republican senators argue that nonprofits could better handle the agency's work, and the agency's director is pushing back.
We have all of the civil and criminal tools available to us to engage in a furtherance of an investigation where the nonprofits meet their dead end.
The State House still needs to put together its own budget. North Carolina's Innocence Commission is the only one of its kind in the U.S.
A sequel to a classic horror movie, and Glenn Powell goes country. David Daniel has all the details in the Hollywood Minute.
There are many kinds of death. And some are better than others.
Time doesn't always heal. That's clear in the latest trailer for 28 Years Later. After nearly 3 decades, neither the infected nor the survivors are the same. 28 Years Later arrives in theaters June 20th.
It's all thrilling.
Glenn Powell is going country. He's set to star in a comedy for Universal Pictures about a country music star in freefall. Judd Apatow is on board to direct and co-write the script with Powell. The Women's Cancer Research Fund is giving Olivia Munn its Courage Award. She'll be honored at the Fund's gala April 28th in Beverly Hills. Munn went public with her bilateral breast cancer diagnosis last year, urging women to advocate for their health. The National Cancer Institute credits the actress with the number of women using a risk assessment tool on its website rising 4,000%. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Covering Wake County, the new Gibson Play Plaza at Dix Park is opening soon, and we're getting a look at the progress. The space features playgrounds, gathering places, gardens, arts, and skyline views. From climbing towers to sensory mazes and water features, officials say this will be the largest adventure playground in the Southeast. Look at that waterfall. Staff will announce the opening date soon. You can check out a new interactive map on the Dix Park website. Very exciting.
A cat is shot and a family wants justice after their beloved family pet was badly hurt. Their search for answers as the cat struggles to recover.
Easter outreach. The Raleigh Rescue Mission will distribute more than 1,600 meals to people in need today. The work volunteers are doing this morning to spread the love through the community.
And we'll be warming up today as you take a live look at North Hills right now. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with how close we will get to 90 during this Easter weekend.